The Galactic Empire's dominance spanned centuries and countless light years, a force of unparalleled precision and power. Massive star fleets, bristling with advanced weaponry, swept across the galaxy, subjugating entire civilizations. Planets with thriving cultures were reduced to obedient outposts, their native populations enslaved or exterminated. Imperial banners adorned cityscapes of countless worlds, each one a silent testament to the Empire's might. Their creed echoed through the cosmos. Resistance is futile, submission ensures survival. From the crystalline towers of the Zeri to the sprawling bioluminescent forests of Arkan V, no species had withstood the Empire. Each conquest unfolded with cold efficiency. First came the scouts, extracting critical data from planetary defenses. Then, the fleets arrived, unleashing orbital bombardments to eradicate any military resistance. Ground forces, genetically engineered warriors clad in impervious armor, descended to secure the ruins. It was a strategy as elegant as it was ruthless. The toll on conquered civilizations was immeasurable. Survivors spoke of despair that eclipsed any hope of rebellion. Once thriving societies became mere whispers of their former selves. Yet, for the Empire, this wasn't cruelty, it was protocol. To them, conquest was a natural order, the galaxy's inevitable path toward unity under their rule. And then they found Earth. To Imperial cartographers, it was an unremarkable sphere on the galaxy's edge, a world of nitrogen and oxygen, inhabited by bipedal creatures whose technology barely reached their nearest satellite. A footnote in the Empire's grand catalogue of conquest. The fleet's intelligence division described humanity with a single phrase: unremarkable and primitive. Reports dismissed Earth's defenses as quaint relics of another era. A subpar species, ripe for assimilation, the High Command declared. The decision to annex Earth was almost perfunctory. The Empire's analysts predicted minimal resistance, and no significant loss of resources. Fleet Commander Trace Sun, overseeing the operation, considered it a chance for his officers to practice maneuvers rather than a genuine campaign. As the command ship Ecliptica approached Earth, Trace Sun joked with his staff. Conquering this mudball will take less effort than drafting the surrender terms. However, whispers reached the lower ranks, tales gathered from fringe traders and deserters who had ventured near Earth. These accounts spoke not of a weak and subservient species, but of something unusual, creatures who defied expectation. There were stories of humans surviving harsh environments through ingenuity, prevailing in wars with limited resources, and excelling in adaptability. The phrase, resilient to the point of insanity, appeared more than once in these hushed conversations. None of this reached the High Command. After all, what could these so-called Rangers do against an empire that had crushed civilizations far more advanced than Earth? The fleet descended, shimmering ships blotting out the stars as they positioned themselves to broadcast their ultimatum. From orbit, Earth appeared serene, its vast oceans reflecting the sunlight, its cities glowing faintly with the hum of life. The calm before the storm. But among the humans below, something stirred, a determination that the Empire had grossly underestimated. For the first time in centuries, the Galactic Empire was about to meet not another conquest, but a challenge it could not comprehend. The Imperial fleet descended into Earth's orbit with a precision born of millennia of conquest. Their vessels, immense and coldly beautiful, cast long shadows over the planet's surface. Metallic voices echoed through every communication channel, broadcasting a singular, unwavering demand, unconditional surrender. The tone was devoid of emotion, as though humanity's compliance was a foregone conclusion. But there was no reply. The silence stretched uncomfortably, an anomaly that caught the Imperial command off guard. Earth's leaders weren't rushing to grovel, nor were they making futile declarations of defiance. There was nothing. That silence, calculated and deliberate, unnerved the fleet's officers. Fleet Commander Trace Sun dismissed it as posturing. They're likely too primitive to organize a coherent response, he sneered. Yet beneath his confidence, unease festered. Earth's response came not in words but in action. The Empire's landing craft, bristling with soldiers and weaponry, met no fanfare upon descent, only the eerie quiet of abandoned terrain. Initial scans detected no significant resistance, and patrols fanned out with the arrogance of victors surveying their prize. But the first ambush came swiftly. Out of dense forests and urban labyrinths, human fighters struck with devastating precision. These weren't frightened civilians with outdated weapons. They were the U.S. Army Rangers, Earth's finest. Masters of unconventional warfare, the Rangers didn't fight battles. They waged campaigns of disruption and destruction. The Empire, accustomed to overwhelming its foes with sheer technological superiority, found itself unprepared for such ingenuity. The Rangers operated in small, mobile units, leveraging terrain, surprise, and adaptability. They laid traps in city ruins, used natural landscapes to conceal their movements, and turned the simplest tools into lethal instruments. An Empire patrol entered an industrial zone, unaware that Rangers had rigged the area with makeshift explosives crafted from mundane materials. A routine scan showed nothing amiss, until the first detonation. Chaos ensued as soldiers, disoriented by the sudden attack, were systematically picked off by hidden marksmen. Captured footage of these skirmishes began filtering back to the Imperial command. What they saw defied their understanding of war. These humans didn't rely on superior firepower or advanced armor. They relied on adaptability, their ability to think like predators. One clip, replayed countless times in the command center, showed a squad of Rangers dismantling a captured Imperial drone, jury-rigging its components into an improvised electromagnetic disruptor. The device neutralized an entire Imperial platoon in seconds. "They are improvising with scavenge technology," an officer reported, his voice edged with disbelief. "They're using our own tools against us." Trace Sun dismissed the concerns at first. "They're savages," he said. "Savages can be crushed." But as reports of mounting casualties poured in, his arrogance began to waver. Every time the Empire adjusted its tactics, the humans adapted faster. Every trap they countered led to another, more ingenious ambush. The fleet's logs began to tell a story of growing desperation. "They fight like predators, not prey," one entry read. "Their movements are erratic, their strategies unpredictable." This was unforeseen. For the first time in centuries, the Galactic Empire was forced to confront an enemy that refused to fight on their terms. And for the first time, the Empire began to doubt its invincibility. The shift began not with a grand battle, but with the careful dissection of Imperial technology. In a makeshift workshop hidden beneath a ruined factory, Rangers worked tirelessly, their hands dirty with grease and grime as they studied captured Imperial drones and weapons. What the Empire saw as inscrutable machines, humans saw as opportunities. Wires were stripped, circuits analyzed, and within hours, the Rangers had not only understood the devices but found ways to improve them. A salvaged plasma rifle was modified to overcharge its power cells, turning it into a portable explosive. An Imperial targeting drone was reprogrammed to misidentify its own troops as enemies. The Rangers didn't just use the Empire's tools, they made them better, deadlier, and uniquely human. One invention, a cloaking field cobbled together from scavenged parts, allowed a small Ranger unit to infiltrate an enemy outpost undetected. The surprise attack crippled Imperial communications across a vast sector, leaving their ground forces blind and isolated. It was a devastating blow, achieved not through brute force, but through ingenuity under fire. The captured Imperial officer, bound and defiant, watched these developments with growing unease. At first, they sneered at the humans' primitive methods. But as days passed, their perspective began to shift. They overheard conversations filled with laughter, even in dire circumstances. They saw wounded soldiers sharing rations, stronger ones carrying weaker comrades. The officer had been raised in a rigid hierarchy, where loyalty was earned through fear and power. Here, they witnessed something alien: camaraderie. These humans, diverse in background and temperament, fought not for a commander's approval, but for each other. Their bonds were unbreakable, their humor unyielding even in the face of death. One night, a Ranger offered the officer a crude but warm meal, accompanied by a joke. It was the first time the officer felt something other than disdain for their captors. The Empire's rigid structure couldn't comprehend this kind of unity. Orders were followed without question, individuality stifled for the sake of efficiency. But the humans thrived in chaos, drawing strength from their differences and adapting faster than any Imperial algorithm could predict. The turning point came during a daring assault on an Imperial command ship stationed above Earth's atmosphere. Using a combination of reverse-engineered cloaking tech and the Rangers' unmatched tactical skill, a small strike team infiltrated the ship. While the Empire relied on centralized command systems, the Rangers split into autonomous units, each tasked with a critical objective. Explosions rocked the vessel as the Rangers sabotaged its propulsion and targeting systems. The final blow came when they hijacked its main weapons array, turning it on the Empire's own fleet. The resulting chaos sent the Imperial forces into disarray, forcing a retreat. As the burning wreckage of the command ship fell to Earth, a single Ranger stood atop the ruins, raising a battered Earth flag high into the smoke-filled sky. It was a moment that transcended the battlefield, a signal to humanity and the galaxy that resistance was not just possible but inevitable. For the Empire, it marked the first true loss in their history. For humanity, it was the beginning of their legend. The Empire's humiliation had left scars deeper than the wreckage of their command ship. Determined to reclaim their dominance, they unleashed their most fearsome force, an elite battalion engineered for total annihilation. These soldiers, enhanced by genetic modifications and equipped with cutting-edge armor, represented the pinnacle of the Empire's military prowess. Their arrival on Earth was heralded by a bombardment that turned entire landscapes into ash, leaving no doubt of their intent. The battalion's strategy was relentless. They analyzed every recorded skirmish, mapping out the Rangers' tactics with cold precision. Using advanced surveillance and adaptive AI, they targeted supply caches, bombed communication hubs, and deployed drones capable of scanning even the deepest bunkers. No avenue for retreat seemed safe, no hiding place secure. The Rangers found themselves pushed back on every front, forced into a grueling retreat. Yet even as losses mounted, they fought on. In one harrowing moment, a Ranger, his leg pinned beneath rubble, refused evacuation, instead directing his team to safety while providing covering fire. His sacrifice became a rallying cry, spreading among the troops like wildfire. Back on Earth's civilian networks, families recorded messages for the fighters. One showed a mother holding her child, saying, "We believe in you." Another depicted a group of schoolchildren holding a hand-painted banner that read, "Our heroes, our hope." These messages were smuggled through encrypted channels, reaching the Rangers in their darkest moments. The effect was profound. Each word reminded them of what they were fighting for, not just survival, but the people waiting for them to come home. In the midst of regrouping, flashbacks filled the thoughts of many Rangers. Memories of training camps came to the forefront, long days in brutal heat, grueling endurance tests, and instructors demanding they push past limits they didn't know existed. One remembered the voice of their drill sergeant. "Adapt. Improvise. Survive. You're not just fighting for yourself. You're fighting for every name in your unit and everyone back home." Despite their injuries, fatigue, and dwindling supplies, the Rangers prepared a counteroffensive. They used the terrain to their advantage, creating ambushes in the most unexpected places. Their knowledge of Earth's unique conditions outmatched even the Empire's advanced technology. Meanwhile, the Empire's frustration grew. The elite battalion's leader, analyzing yet another failed operation, recorded in their log, "These humans refuse to accept their inferiority. Their will is unlike any we've encountered. It disrupts the very logic of war." The Rangers, bruised but unbroken, demonstrated that resilience was not just a strategy, it was a weapon. The harder the Empire pressed, the stronger humanity's resolve became, setting the stage for their ultimate stand. The Rangers set their final plan into motion, using every ounce of experience and ingenuity they had honed throughout the war. The trap was laid in an environment Earth's forces had painstakingly prepared, a frozen, desolate tundra. Bitter winds howled across the battlefield, temperatures plummeting to extremes even the most advanced Imperial armor could barely withstand. The Empire, confident in their technological superiority, underestimated just how deeply humans could adapt to their own planet's harshest conditions. The battle began with precision strikes, the Rangers' tactics exploiting the environment. Imperial armor froze in place, their systems clogged with ice and debris. Advanced targeting drones malfunctioned, unable to navigate the electromagnetic interference generated by the Rangers' modified equipment. Meanwhile, the humans moved as though the elements posed no obstacle. Cloaked in adaptive thermal gear and fueled by sheer determination, they struck with relentless precision, vanishing into the snow after each skirmish. The Empire's elite battalion, so accustomed to dominating open battlefields, found themselves fighting a war of attrition they could not win. Their soldiers faltered in the cold, their morale fraying with each loss. The Rangers pushed harder, their battle cries cutting through the chaos, a reminder of the indomitable human spirit. The climactic moment came when the Rangers detonated a series of subterranean charges beneath the main Imperial encampment, collapsing their command structure in one decisive blow. Imperial officers, desperate and disoriented, scrambled to rally their forces, but it was too late. The Rangers surged forward, their ranks united by a singular purpose: to end the invasion once and for all. As the Imperial fleet orbiting Earth received the distress signal, they hesitated. Humanity had proven itself to be a foe unlike any other, defying every prediction and surpassing every limit. The fleet's commander, observing the unraveling chaos from above, ordered a retreat. "This battle is lost," they muttered, the words heavy with an unfamiliar weight. "Humans are not to be trifled with. They are a force beyond calculation." The final report filed by the Imperial forces spoke of a species that could not be conquered. "Their resolve is infinite. Their creativity unbounded. They do not fight for survival alone, they fight for ideals, freedom, unity, and hope. Against such a force, even the might of the Empire falters." On Earth, the aftermath was marked by both mourning and celebration. The Rangers, scarred but unbroken, returned to their people as heroes. Their stories spread, inspiring a newfound sense of unity among humanity. Cities began to rebuild, flags were raised high, and Earth stood tall, not as a conquered planet, but as a testament to resilience. Across the galaxy, word of humanity's triumph spread. Once seen as insignificant, Earth was now a symbol of defiance and strength, its people earning a place of respect among the stars. The closing narration carried the weight of their journey. They came to conquer, but they left knowing what it means to fight for freedom. Humanity proved that the greatest weapon is not technology or numbers, it is the unyielding will to stand, even when the odds are impossible. And in that, they found victory.